Title: The Curse of the Silver Moon. The small, isolated town of Silverwood nestled in the heart of a dense, ancient forest. For generations, the townsfolk had lived in fear of the cursed woods that surrounded them, believing that a malevolent force lurked beneath the towering pines. The legend of the Silverwood werewolf haunted their dreams and fueled their nightmares. As the story goes, a century ago, the town had been cursed by a vengeful witch, a woman known as Elara. She had been accused of practicing dark magic and was driven to madness by the relentless persecution of the townsfolk. In her desperation, she had made a pact with a powerful wolf spirit, binding her essence to the woods forever. Under the light of the full moon, Elara transformed into a monstrous wolf, wreaking havoc upon the town she had once called home. Her fury knew no bounds, and her thirst for blood was insatiable. Desperate to protect their town, the townsfolk devised a plan to trap Elara within the forest, building a silver-blessed barrier to contain her malevolence. For generations, the town had been safe from the curse, and the story of Elara and her werewolf form had faded into a mere bedtime tale. However, that was about to change. Lucas, a troubled young man with a dark past, had recently moved to Silverwood in search of solace and redemption. Haunted by the memories of a traumatic childhood event, he had hoped that the town's serene surroundings would offer him the peace he so desperately craved. One evening, as Lucas ventured deep into the woods, his melancholy heart was drawn to the legends that surrounded Silverwood. He had always been fascinated by the supernatural, and the whispers of the Silverwood werewolf piqued his curiosity. Guided by an unexplainable urge, he stumbled upon a clearing deep within the forest. There, beneath the pale light of the moon, he discovered an old, weathered journal buried beneath a bed of fallen leaves. Its pages were filled with cryptic symbols and dark incantations, and as he leafed through it, a shiver ran down his spine. Lucas was a rational man, but the journal held a strange power over him. It was as if the words within called out to him, inviting him to unlock the secrets of the forest. Ignoring the warnings he had heard, he began to decipher the incantations, hoping to unravel the mystery of the Silverwood werewolf. As he delved deeper into the journal's dark passages, he uncovered a ritual that claimed to summon the spirit of the werewolf, promising the power to control the beast. Consumed by a reckless desire to confront his own fears, Lucas decided to perform the ritual, believing it was nothing more than a superstition. On the night of the full moon, Lucas ventured into the heart of the forest, carrying with him the ingredients needed for the ritual. The woods were alive with eerie sounds, the whispering wind, the rustling leaves, and the distant howls of wolves. In a secluded glade, Lucas began the incantation, his voice trembling with a mixture of fear and anticipation. He lit a circle of silver candles, their flames flickering in the still night air. As he chanted the ancient words, a sense of dread washed over him, and he felt an unexplainable presence in the woods. Suddenly, a blinding light engulfed the clearing, and Lucas was knocked to the ground. When he regained his senses, he found himself face to face with a colossal, shadowy figure, a creature of nightmares. The Silverwood werewolf stood before him, its fur as dark as midnight, and its eyes, like molten silver, glowed with an otherworldly intensity. Lucas's heart raced as he realized the magnitude of his folly. "You have summoned me," the werewolf growled, its voice a guttural rasp. "What is your wish?" Lucas, trembling with fear, stammered, I wanted to confront my fears, to prove that I could control you." The werewolf's eyes narrowed, and its form began to shift, becoming more menacing with each passing moment. "You dare to play with forces you do not understand," it hissed, "but you will learn the consequences of your arrogance." With a deafening howl, the werewolf lunged at Lucas, its massive jaws snapping shut just inches from his throat. Lucas scrambled to his feet and bolted through the forest, the enraged creature in pursuit. For hours, the chase continued, as the werewolf relentlessly pursued its prey. Lucas's lungs burned and his legs ached, but he couldn't outrun the beast that was now his relentless tormentor. Just as the first rays of dawn began to break through the trees, Lucas stumbled upon the silver-blessed barrier that had imprisoned the werewolf for generations. Desperation gave him strength, and he hurled himself at the barrier, praying that it would hold the creature at bay. With an agonized roar, The werewolf collided with the barrier, its massive frame writhing in pain as the silver burned its flesh. Lucas watched in horror as the creature's form disintegrated into a cloud of silver mist, dissipating with the rising sun. Exhausted and shaken, Lucas collapsed beside the barrier, gasping for breath. He had survived the encounter, but at a terrible cost. The werewolf's curse had been broken, but Lucas knew that he would forever bear the scars of his reckless curiosity. As the sun bathed the forest in its warm light, Lucas realized that some legends were better left undisturbed, and that the line between bravery and folly was perilously thin. Silverwood would continue to be a place of mystery and whispers, but now, its darkest secret was etched into the memory of the one who had dared to challenge the legend of the Silverwood werewolf.